Hello everyone, and welcome to more Endwalker. And I don't know if I fixed a major issue with my computer or not. When I booted my computer up, and the NVIDIA GeForce program, that my graphics card uses came up and was like, "There's an update." So I opened it up and I updated it, and I was like, okay. But then after it ran the update, it said that there was additional stuff to download. So I was like, okay, well, just download that, I guess. And I used to be required to run FF14 at the lowest settings. It is currently on high, and it seems to be running really smoothly. It used to take up 50% CPU normally when I ran it. It is currently saying it's only taking 13% CPU. Sometimes it goes higher. But yeah, somewhere between 13 and 16. So I don't know if I just fixed something that I didn't know was an issue, but all of a sudden, I mean, I don't know, you'd have to go back and check the previous episode. But I feel all of a sudden the game is running better than it used to. I don't know why that changed. Maybe it's because I downloaded the extra stuff. Maybe there was additional important driver stuff in that, but it feels like that should have just been included. Not been oh hey, by the way, here's additional things to download. But maybe not. Maybe it's a space issue where it's you're running it on our thing, but fact of the matter is that to download everything is going to require a lot of hard drive space, and so we only download a certain amount. I really haven't a clue, but I just feel like this is running better. I feel like it's running better. I don't know if it is, because simply put, I have horrible eyesight, and it doesn't look all that different to me between the low settings that I had and what I have now. But maybe you all might notice a difference. I'm not sure. So, hi Venat. Our last searcher returns. I'm afraid the Orius no longer had the crystal, nor was I able to find it as I followed in its wake. I don't suppose you fared any better. This thing maybe, a scintillating crystal upon which is stored some manner of esoteric concept. Is it this thing? The crystal. Well done. Wonderful. Now I can focus on your tale, without that missing concept nagging at my mind. Have you always had a knack for finding things? We have, actually. Ow. I, very badly needed to, brush my hair, and it hurt when I did that. Give me 1 second. Alright. That gave me a chance to finish brushing out my hair and then to grab a drink, so sorry about that. And that was like a split second for all of you. That was like 10 minutes for me. Let's see. I've often been asked to do so. Traveling and searching go hand in hand. You travel often then. Seems we have something in common. Long ago, when I held the seat of Azim, I was forever trekking back and forth across the star in search of answers to people's problems. Naturally, the need for such journeys has lessened considerably since I entrusted the position to my whimsical successor. Yet I am still eager to come running around an old acquaintance or new interest require, or should an old acquaintance or new interest require my personal attention. That is what brings me to Elpis. In fact, many times has my presence been requested, my opinion sought concerning the habitat of this or that creation. Agreeing to help locate that missing crystal was a minor distraction, which now promises to become a major revelation. How strange and wonderful it is, the way one thing leads to another, wouldn't you agree? Also, you'll notice I dyed, and I know it's not like exactly the same, but I dyed the robe white, so it was similar to Venat here, so. A past not yet come to pass. Venat is in a cheerful mood. Thank you again for your timely help. Now then, 'tis time I return the stolen property. If you would go on ahead to my accommodation, I will join you as soon as I have attended to that task. Follow the path straight ahead to the building at the top of the slope. I have the entire place to myself, so we can speak without fear of being disturbed or overheard. Sounds good to me. Glyphera and Melanite over here. Poitin Oikos. So we had been here for a moment in the last episode when we stopped to pick up the aetheryte because I had to stop recording. At the end of last episode. So I figured that was a good, easy way to get back. Let's see. What exactly? These are chondrite weapons. Okay. I mean, I fully expect that I'll get a chondrite, what is it? Chondrite tuck that's high quality. When we get to that point in the quest line. So I'm not immediately worried about that. That said, I didn't know it did that. I have a new rapier. So this is the glam. This isn't the actual rapier. But I finally completed the quests to get the Law's Order rapier. I am now actually on the Resistance Remembers, where I have to get 18 of 2 different types of memories. And I can either do Gurabanya region fates that have a 66% drop chance for haunting memories, or I can do Shadow of Mach alliance raids. Apparently for 3 per alliance raid. So it's going to be a while before I get that upgraded. Vexatious memories are from the Far East region fates, again with a 66% drop, and then Return to Ivalice alliance raids. So at some point we will get our hands on those. I actually also, I actually also need to finish collecting these these other memories of the dying, which I don't remember what quest that is. For want of memory, here it is. So the best way that I found to do these is just to go do fates in these areas. And the issue I've always had with fates is just survivability, I guess. I found that going sage makes them very easy to survive. Because you go as sage, you apply cardia to yourself, and then you just blast. And you're basically good. Like, easy mode. Oops. So that's kind of the easiest way to do it, but unfortunately, healers take a lot to kill anything. And they're fates, so, you have to level sync down. So it's not like you can just walk in and one-shot everything. I might do some as red mage. But I know that I'm not going to get much experience, but I didn't want to push up red mage's experience too much. I might do those once I hit level 90 as red mage, since then I can't get experience anyway. And then that would be really easy for me to do. But we'll see. You might already know how I did it, because it might have been I might have mentioned it in one of the first episodes. Welcome to my temporary abode. Please make yourself at home while I put on some tea. I was trying to do it with my level 80s, but I don't know. I have survivability issues. As like any DPS. Maybe I just don't understand how to play my class as well as I think I do. Heidelin.
お湯は温かいまま保っていますから焦る必要もありません。ゆっくりでいい。聞かせてもらえますか。
Guess the question comes, am I going to tell them what happens? Let's see. A calamity called the Final Days has befallen the world. The world has been sundered, broken into shards. Mankind is being forced to flee the star. Calamity called the Final Days has occurred. Let's start from the beginning. Yeah, that's probably a good spot to start from. And the question is what is the beginning exactly? Well, Fendeniel attempted to kill everybody, and then a whole bunch of other stuff happened. And then everything blew up. Oh, hey, the crystal! Kind of assumed that was being more or less retconned. Alright, La Habrea. So we explain about Heidelin and La Habrea and Emmet Selk and Amarat. Oh man, Emmet Selk. Like, us explaining that to Emmet Selk about Emmet Selk. And then Zodiark and the Final Days. Like, that's gotta suck. To know all of that. Of what's, like, coming in your future. It's like, yes, you attempted to kill all of us.
So そうだね。正直、想像すらつかない部分も多いよ。ベーネス様はどう思います
Oh, Vanat's like shaking.
最初の週末がいつどうして起こったのかが正確でない以上、現時点では真偽を判断する材料がありません。ですから全て真実であるという前提に立って、なぜ私がそうしたのかを考えていました。大衆と14人委員会が選んだ道、それに反してハイデリンを作り出す理由を、少なくとも今の私でははっきりと説明できません。もちろんその時になってみないとわからないことも多いでしょうが、簡単に下せる決断ではなかったはず。
For sure, absolutely.
少しそうするしかなかった要因があるように思えるのです。それからなぜあなたにエルピスの花を知るべにしろと言ったのか。花そのものや追う過程が大事だったとも考えられますが、あなたがここへ至っている以上、エルピスという場所にもきっと何かがある。それが何なのか、私はあなたに何をすべきなのか。
I mean, now that I've come back and told her all of this, perhaps that's exactly it. It's a time loop, you know. I told her so that she would then know to do it in the future.
週末は不可避となり、もう星から逃げるしかない。せめてその未来について私たちに伝えておくことで、別の歴史が生じる可能性を作りたかったとか。
確かに理屈としてはあり得る話です。けれど、それが主たる目的なら、わざわざエルピスに誘導する理由がない。留守である可能性を考慮しても、私の家にするか14人委員会のいるアーモロートを選ぶ方が賢明でしょう。
Unless something is in Elpis that causes the final days. It is creation magic running amok.
そうか。彼女はそのハイデリンってものから向かうべき時を指定されたわけじゃない。となれば、私たちと出会えるかどうかは重要じゃなかったというわけですね。
あるいはこの偶然とも思える出会いが果たされることに何らかの根拠を持ってかけていたのかもしれませんか。
It did once, it will again.
パズルをしようにも重要なピースが足りてないみたいだ。
Excuse me, sorry.
確かな事実があるとすれば、週末が聞いた通りのものならば、それは私にとってかけがえのないものを焼き払おうとしています。そんな事象を前にして長い時間も費やして用意した手段が逃げるだけ。普通ならまず週末を完全に退ける方法を考えるはずでしょう。
それは14人委員会でも果たせなかったことですし、不可能だと考えたのでは？
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is that even the convocation couldn't do it.
私は不可能を信じていない。ハイデリンが私なのであれば、それだけは揺るぎない事実だと思います。
よくもまあ、こんな妄言に出てくる自分を本当に自分だと思えたものだな。 私は納得していない。できるものか。この良き時代がそんなわけのわからない終わりを迎えるだと。大体そいつの語る私はおよそこの私とかけ離れているじゃないか。
I mean...
同胞たちがゾディアークに命を捧げたとして星のためであったならそして誇るべきことだ。
I mean, that is why, though. You held them in the highest esteem.
私がありし日の町を模しただと。そんなものは彼らの行いへの冒涜だろう。お前をそこに招き入れた理由も全く理解ができない。自ら計画失敗の要因を作ったようなものじゃないか。
Because you already knew.
確かにこの時代の復活なんてものを背負わされると思うと嫌で嫌で仕方がない。腹の底からうんざりする。だが自分からそれを投げ出すような真似を私がすると。
Also keep in mind that you're tempered. But maybe because primals don't exist yet, they don't realize like what that means.
よまいごとはもう十分だ。私は仕事に戻る。二度と邪魔をするな。
エメトセルク、ちょっと待ってよ。
ちょっと待って。
もう一つ聞かせてください。ここまでエルピスを見てきて何か気になったことはありませんでしたか？
Dynamis is key to all of this. Hermes and Medion are somehow involved. I'm still trying to make sense of it all. Yeah, Dynamis is the key to all of this. Somehow. There's something about Dynamis.
デュナミス。エーテルとは異なる力ですね。ええ、私も専門ではありませんが理解はしています。そして局長であるヘルメスがメーティオンを作るにあたってそれを研究していると。
Oops. Clicked early.
そうと決まれば行動あるのみです。今はまだ欠けているピースがきっとこの地にある。それを手にしたとき、未来の私が描いた絵の全容があなたが受け取るべき答えが導き出せるでしょう。私にもどうか協力させてください。
Freaking the music for Amarat is just amazing.
大丈夫。彼が私の知るアゼムから聞かされた通りの彼ならば、きっとこのままお別れにはならないわ。
I would love to meet Azem. I wonder if we ever do. Like, I'm assuming not in 9.0, but I'm wondering if maybe we come back here at any point for 9.1 and beyond. Like, I've seen pictures from, you know, the update announcements and things that show, like, Amoratines. Yeah, in the, like, 6.1 and such. So I wonder if, like, we come back here for any of that content, and if we ever meet Azem. So we begin our investigations, then. I'm acquainted with Hermes, of course, but only as a visitor received by the chief officer of Elpis. Of the man himself, I know only that which is common knowledge. Thus, I suggest we fall back on the tried and true method of conversing with the locals. The observers who live here can surely tell us more of Hermes and Metion, and I have a good idea of where we might begin. Alright. Oops. That is a wall, basically. There are now quests in this area, so that's awesome. I'm going to assume that once we get, like, finished with this area, we'll get the blue quests. Is that Sid? I mean, not perfectly, but... See you, the woman in front of yonder building. Her name is Ismene. She's the one who made arrangements for my stay in Elpis. From what I recall, she has held her position here for quite some time. Chances are she can provide us with some insights. Go and ask your questions. I'll help with drawing out answers if need be, but I leave the choice of topic up to you. Ismene. Alrighty. Questions? For me? Well, I suppose I have no other pressing duties at the moment. Following event cannot be skipped. Aha! One of these things. Alright. Greetings, Ismene. My friend here is desperately curious about Chief Hermes, and I was wondering if you might indulge her. Certainly, Mistress Venat. Anything to be of service? What do you wish to know? What kind of person is Hermes? Well, I can only answer from my own experience, but... I would describe him as a quiet man, reserved, you might say, and occasionally somewhat poor with his choice of words. His reticent nature, however, does not prevent him from carrying out his duties as chief overseer. The man is a walking archive when it comes to life forms. He can discuss any species in incredible detail, and is the leading authority on concepts with the power of flight. I hope that answers your question. Was there anything else? How long has Metion been here? I cannot rightly say. As the chief's personal creation, Metion has not been subjected to observation and study like other concepts. So one day, she was simply there. And what do you make of her abilities? I understand that she is a highly unusual familiar, able to read emotions and communicate directly with one's mind. Exactly how she was recreated with that talent, however, is a mystery to me. My apologies. I wish I could explain her nature in more depth, but I've not had occasion to discuss it with Chief Hermes. Do you wish you knew him better? Do you trust him? I beg your pardon? I've known Chief Hermes for many years, though I cannot say we are close. He has never withheld information to the detriment of our duties, if that is what you mean. Forgive us. We seem to have veered slightly off course here. Is there perhaps someone else who could tell us more about Metion? That would be Timaeus. He has a similar expertise with flying concepts, and is more than eager to discuss the subject. You'll find him conducting his observations on the banks of the stream, somewhere to the east. Oh, and, unless you take a particular joy in rambling discourse, I suggest you keep your questions concise. We shall keep that in mind. Thank you for your patience and your insight. Think nothing of it. If there is aught else you need during your stay, please do not hesitate to ask. Come, Kassandra. I think we've taken enough of Ismene's time. Our investigation is off to a fine start, wouldn't you agree? From here, I propose that we split up. I shall continue making inquiries with the resident observers. If you could track down the colleague Ismene mentioned. While I did feel compelled to interject once or twice during the previous conversation, you seem more than capable of drawing forth the answers you seek. All I ask is that you watch your footing around the stream. We can meet back here once you finish speaking with this Timaeus. Alright. Yeah, I would love to meet Azum. You know, like the current Azum. The me that is here, you know. I think they could do that without issue, because while it is like your soul, you know, so was Ardbert, right? And they're still able to give him a personality. A very good one, in fact. So, yes, I'm Timaeus. Please keep your voice down, you'll startle the birds. And another one of these. So, what is it you wish to speak about? Is it true you're an expert on flying creations? What do you think of Chief Hermes' flying creations? Chief Hermes' work? A worthy subject indeed. Those beings which soar through the clouds, majestic and graceful, are ever a favorite of creators. Even now, with so many varieties in existence, the flood of newly imagined concepts continues unabated. What sets the chief's creations apart, however, is how they benefit from his boundless knowledge of the celestial realm. Birds that climb so high that they disappear from view, others which traverse the boundless sky in moments, and all without riding the currents. I know of none save he who can conceive of such marvels. Even we, who prize elegance of form above all else, are dumbfounded by his genius. Metian too is a marvel, then. My opinion on that matter would be superficial at best. Despite my admiration for Metian as a concept, I've never delved too deeply into the inner workings of her nature. I know that she has a gift for communicating via emotions, but otherwise her abilities are a mystery to me. If Chief Hermes should choose to submit Metian's concept to the Bureau of the Architect, then will the design be registered for public scrutiny. Analyzing a colleague's creation before that step is frowned upon, to say the least. Of course, if it came to me, a fellow artisan looking for advice, that would be an entirely different story. Do you know of Dynamis and Entelikeas? Dynamis and Entelikeas. Those terms do sound vaguely familiar. Was there not a flower made here in Elpis which exhibited properties of one or the other? It must have been centuries since I last heard anyone speak of such things. Has there been a resurgence in interest? Nah, not really. Then why bring up the subject? I'm flattered that you sought my insight, but I cannot afford to neglect my duties for the sake of idle chatter. Now I really must return to my observations. Surely you have your own tasks to attend to? Alrighty. Speaking of, while we're here, 300 to the west. Alrighty. Well, let's start moving towards the green quest. I think it's in the area that we've not yet explored. And if so, then I am at the wrong layer of this. If so, then we'll probably end up exploring that soon. Because it looks like it's probably up by that, maybe? The heck are those things? Not a clue. They're not a creature, or at least not one I can target anyway. So there's that. Let's see. Oh, yep, right there. It's like northwest, huh? Oh yeah, right there. How about that? That said, I can see why she wanted me to be careful around the stream. It is going rather quick. Now further to the southeast. So that tells me it's somewhere over here. So, if the quest from Hydaelyn Venet takes me away from there, I will wander over in that direction. But I have the feeling that the quests will take me around the majority of the place, so... Let's go talk to Venet. Frick. Hi, Azam. Back already? That was quick work. You're obviously clever enough to head off any of that rambling Yasmin mentioned. So, have you any new findings to share? I see. Even an expert in the field had little understanding of Metien's capabilities, let alone an awareness of Dynamis. My questions resulted in much the same answers. Hermes' colleagues view Metien as his personal project, and could provide no details beyond those which you just told me. Which leads me to believe that the only person with any significant knowledge of Dynamis is Hermes himself. Yes, we've made some progress here. More information is needed if we are to reach any definitive conclusions. Sounds good. We need to find more info. Venet is musing over your recent findings. At present, the strongest link we have to the final days is the power of Dynamis, and the Entelecheas which can control it. Yet most scholars are only vaguely aware of these terms, let alone study them in any depth. Except for Hermes, it seems. Thus I am inclined to stay our current course, and learn all we can about the Chief Overseer and his familiar. And on that subject, was there aught else of note you can tell me about Metien, aside from her unorthodox mention of communication? Well, she has sisters. She and her sisters were created to journey to the stars in search for intelligent life. That's definitely the one to say. I rather wish you had mentioned that earlier. In any event, would you care to elaborate? I mean, that's the majority of what I know. So these siblings of hers now travel the great expanse in search of deeper meaning. Thank you. Though the mystery at hand remains unresolved, I feel you've touched upon a vital clue, one we should keep in mind as we continue. Next, I propose we take ourselves to Perpetua Crystalline, not far from here. Just follow the path to the west. Oh wait, southeast. Southeast could be anywhere down here, really. Because this is east. This is west. I was like, hey, we're going over in that direction. Oh wait, east. Directly south from here, it says. So I'm going to do that first. Because we've gone east enough, it says. I mean, it's possible the quest will take us over here, but also, we were kind of sent over here earlier. They may have expected us to find this ether current while we were in this area, so, especially since we're going more eastward now. Southeastward, yeah. Oh yeah, this is like literally right next to where we found, because it was right here that we found the concept crystal. So this was definitely they've probably already found this one, for sure. Also, all these islands that are way the heck out there, man. It's really cool, to be honest. Southeast by 600 yalms. Where would that be? That's south and then east. But 600 would put it over here. Did I just miss that one while we were... Oh yeah, that might be one of these two. Or no, this one might be one of these two. I was looking at Labyrinthos, not Elpis. It might be one of those two. So I might have just missed those. Well, when we get back to that island, we'll go look for them. Millennium! And just like that, the Millennium goes away. Only for us to aggro a primordial hippo surf. It's fine. It'll go away. There it is. I thought that might have been either Emmett Selk or Hythlodaeus for a second, but no, just normal Amoratine. This tower and the one further along are part of Peripetia Crystalline, the facility where they archive all of Elpis's observational and testing records. Despite how they appear from the outside, the interior is actually a vast area of magically interconnected spaces, which, while fascinating, is not the reason why we are here, is it? I shall cut my architectural lesson short and see what those two archivists have to share. If you could find someone to speak with over at the other tower, I shall join you there anon. Oh, over that tower. I thought she meant over that way, but no, this way. Got it. Oh yeah, because these two are Peripetia Crystalline. Got it. Got it. Makes sense. Peripetia Archivist. Here's Hector. Hectaris. Who is not wearing his robe, by the way. I know, you don't have to. I'm just doing it for the video. Do you have questions for me? Certainly. Just a moment while I conclude my current appointment. Indeed. So if you could provide a comprehensive log of those behaviors, we should then have sufficient data for official records. Now, what was it you wished to speak with me about? I'm looking for any information on Metion, the Chief Overseer's personal research project. And by that, I assume you mean Metion. Such undocumented studies are difficult to track. After all, hardly a day goes past without seeing a researcher trailed by one creation or another. I'm afraid I cannot tell you exactly when Metion appeared, only that she now spends much of her time at Chief Hermes' side. Although, I do recall an interesting tale my dearest Galeen shared with me. Galeen is my partner and a fellow researcher here in Elpis. She was returning late one night when she caught sight of Chief Hermes sending Metion heavensward, a host of them. For several days she would speak of that scene with wonder, describing it as one of the most beautiful spectacles she had ever witnessed. It sounds like a story I should like to hear. Hi, Venet. Mistress Venet, I thought you had already returned to the surface. Permit me to thank you again for your invaluable contribution to our concept placement proposal. Pray do not mention it. As you say, my original plan was to leave after that task, but I have since become engrossed with Chief Hermes' research. Would you favor me with a retelling of this sight which so delighted your Galeen? Of course, or you could hear it from her lips directly if you prefer. At present, she should be observing a subject in Metabasios Thalassae. She does enjoy her time there, watching the sea creatures hunt and play, gazing upon the salty waters of the world's oceans, recreated in such sublime detail. Okay, bye, kitty. Again. It's only the third time he's gotten up from my lap in the last, 45 minutes. Maybe not 45 minutes, because that's how long we've been recording for. So, imagine you must find similar joy in indulging your boundless curiosity, Mistress Venet. Even though such pursuits must continually and regretfully delay your return to the star. Indeed they do. 'Tis a rest well deserved and long overdue, I should think. How gratefully have we prospered for the wisdom you accumulated during your travels as Asm. And what would Elpis be without your earlier academic work? The theories you developed served as the basis of many techniques still in use today. Man is a creature of contemplation, but none embody that nature with as much enduring passion as you. I dare say, there is not a soul alive more worthy of a return. So rejoice the day you depart on your final journey. I will be honored. That will be a long time from now. Well, so I take this opportunity to meet with Galeen in person. Assuming, of course, she even does get to return. I don't know if, like, I don't know, you know. I mean, I know that, you know, she is Heidelin now. But, like, is she always going to be Heidelin, you know? Or do we fight Heidelin since we fought Zodiark, you know? Allow me to reconfigure the door to the archives here. It will take you up to the Skyway and spare you the need to avoid hostile concepts on the ground. That would be most helpful, thank you. We did fight Zodiark, so that makes me suspect that we're probably gonna fight Heidelin as well. In, like, the second trial, the level 79. Because I imagine that the level 80, like, final trial is going to be whoever the villain is. Hermes or whatever. So, I've opened the path to the Skyway. Once you pass through the door, simply walk straight across to the next tower and ask for admittance to the upper tier. Upon arriving at the upper tier, walk straight across the Skyway and you'll find yourself at the entrance to Metabasius Thalassia. Galeen will be eager to share her tale with you, I am sure. Hey, we're up here now. Cool. The approachable archivist. Mistress Vanette, just passing through. Then allow me to prepare the path. If you need further assistance, there's always an observer or two out on the upper Skyway. Oh, Hector is running ahead of us. That's fine. Everybody knows you run faster with knives out. I like to do that as rogue though. I'll go rogue. Here, where is it? Ninja. Whatever it's called. Like, I'll go ninja, and I'll just be, like, running along like this. Just because, even though it doesn't make you faster, it feels faster. It's about the only one I do it with, though. So. Mistress Vanette, I was not told to expect. We would have prepared an official welcome. Now, please, there's no need for fanfare. I only wish to speak with Galeen, if that might be arranged. Yes, Galeen, of course. I will inform her immediately. Ha, but she may be engaged in a testing phase. You could be in for something of a wait. Shall I let her know your business is urgent? That won't be necessary. This lovely view will keep us occupied until she is ready to receive us. I think we're in the other area now.
風が心地いい。それにとても綺麗。
Ooh.
あなたのいた未来の世界も
It's
変わら
answers.
ず美しいですか？
Some parts yes, others not so much. As beautiful as ever.
あなた越しに素敵な世界が垣間見えそう。一歩一歩を楽しんでいるのですね。
I mean, everyone's considerably smaller.
待つ間にあなたの旅の話を聞かせてください。ここに至った経緯については教えてもらいましたが、今度はもっと取り留めのないあなただけの旅の話を。ハイデリンの目的を明らかにするため、未来の世界を知りたいという意図もありますが、何より同じ旅人として興味があるのです。知らない場所に行った人から話を聞きたいと思うのは私たちのサラでしょ。
Well, there's a lot of death and destruction for starters. But beyond that, here's here's some info about the world. Whoa. I wonder what it like. I wonder what exactly is being said in this scene. Because like that, regardless of whether or not.
私も見てみたかった。
Regardless of whether or not, the character speaks and has a personality. When you're creating these kinds of scenes, you have to have a general idea of what's being talked about, so that the other character can like respond, So it's like, what are we talking about in that scene? I did the fist, I did the like smack my fist thing. I looked like I did like a really like excited pose, which was cool, Like I wonder what it is we're talking about. Are we talking about other things that have happened, like Ultima Weapon or the Allegons or any of that stuff? Or are we just talking about general like what the world is like?
不自由で厳しい世界。けれど、そこに生きる人々の
Excuse me again, by the
愛しい
way.
ことでしょう。人はそんな風にもなれる。可能性の輝きは彼方でもやっぱりきらめき続けている。ありがとう。とびきり素敵なお話でした。先ほども少し話に出ていましたが、私はもともと世界の成り立ちを追い求める学者だったのです。エーテルとは何？物はどうしてこんな形をしているの？私たちの始まりは？世界はそういった謎に満ちている。いくつかにはそれらしき答えを出しもしました。けれど突き詰めていくほどに驚きは増すばかり。世界の法則が今のようであり、私たちが存在していることはまさしく奇跡のような必然だったのです。遥か天地をめぐり移ろいながら悠久を渦巻く熱がこうして私やあなたという形をとっている。それがどれほどの確率の出来事か思えば、想像できる範疇のことなんて何も不可能ではないように感じるのです。そう気づいた時、急激にこみ上げてきた思いが私の当たり前を打ち砕きました。何かとてつもなく大きなもの、 運命だとかそういうものに命が、人が愛されているのだという感覚。同時にあまたの奇跡と不確定な可能性の上にある今がひどく脆いもののようにも思えました。私は誰かに何かに会いたくなって思わず飛び出した。この瞬間に輝く世界を見て聞いて感じて、もっともっと知りたいと考えたのです。それが遠い昔の旅の始まりでした。当たり前が取り払われた世界は何もかもが新鮮でとても美しかった。眼前に広がる地平、吸い込まれるような空、静かだけれど力強い自然の息遣い、それらの合間に人の営みが明かりを灯し、ことの葉を響かせる。そんな光景に胸が温かくなった。何より出会う人そのものがたまらなく好きだった。だから皆のためにできることをしていたら帰るに帰れなくなってしまったのです。もしかしたら未来の私もはいで生きる理由ではなく死ぬことができる理由を。
Walk unto the end.
多くの可
Endwalker!
能性を持ち、故にこそ時に迷える人を、もう大丈夫だと思える瞬間を。この星の未来に生きるあなた、未だ人の行く末を問い手放せずにいる私にどうか答えて。あなたの旅は良いものでしたか？
Has it been true? Has it been worthwhile? Yeah, absolutely. I don't know about my real life journey, but this game journey, absolutely.
すみません、遅くなりました。お待たせしてしまっ
Don't
て
get to answer.
本当にごめんなさい。観察対象がこんな時に限って暴れちゃって。
お仕事お疲れ様です。おかげでのんびり話もできましたから気にしないで。
ありがとうございます。それで私に聞きたいことというのは？
実はヘルメスの作ったメイティオンに興味があるのです。あなたは大勢の彼女が飛ぶところを見たとか。
なんだ、そのことでしたか。ええ、しっかと見ましたとも。あの日は夜の観察があったので六葉院を出たのが夜半過ぎだったんです。なんとなく星空を見上げながら歩いていたら、南東の方角に天へと昇る逆さまの流星がピカッと。いくつか立て続けに流れていったものだから、私もっとよく見えるところを探してこの島の端まで行ったんです。そしたら少し先の島にヘルメスとたくさんのメイティオンたちがいて、
Matea.
そのメイティオンたちが夜空へと飛んでいく姿が逆さまの流星の正体だったんです。
なる
So
ほ
he's
ど。
created a lot
そ
of
れについ
them.
てヘルメスと話をしたことは？
So Meteon isn't even a personal project. Like, he's created a race of these Meteon. The Metea.
あまりに綺麗な光景だったので、翌日すぐにどんな設計で何のために飛ばしているのか聞きに行ったんです。でも まだ個人的な実験の途中だから情報を共有する段階にないって言われちゃって。だから私も話してもらえる日を待ってるところなんです。ヘルメスは今も時折あの浮島に行っているようですから、実験自体は進んでいるんじゃないかと思いますよ。
状況はよくわかりました。私たちも話が聞けるのを楽しみに待ちたいと思います。お伺いしたかったのはそれだけです。仕事の最中にお呼び立てしてしまって申し訳あり
That
ませんで
doesn't
した。
sound like a one-time personal project he's been keeping around. That sounds like he created a concept without
同
permission.
じことを気にしている方に会って嬉しかったです。あ、このまま下に降りますか？でしたら扉をおつなぎしますけど。
ではお言葉に甘えて。
Something about that doesn't sit right with me. He shouldn't be creating... Oh, okay. No, I'm just over here. Metabasios thalassi. I'm over here. I thought I was ending up over in this area. But no, that makes sense. That it would just be this section that I'm going back and forth between there. So that makes a lot more sense. So another piece of the puzzle falls into place. From what we've learned thus far, I think we can safely conclude that Hermes hasn't been revealing the details of his research to others. Which suggests either someone will appropriate his discoveries and make use of them, or that Hermes himself will have a hand in causing the final days. As we have no reason yet to suspect the former, we should consider the latter the more likely possibility. Proceeding under that assumption, our next step should be to divine why, or even if, he might desire such a terrible fate for our star. Very good question indeed. Because yeah, I mean, I have a general idea, you know. I think I said like, yeah, you know, he's probably like, he probably ends up feeling like, well, you know, if, oh, I can't apply glamour right here. The frick is this? Right then. Well, as soon as I get back to the town over that way, I'll switch it. Not has a new course of investigation in mind. I should like to visit the site from which Hermes sent forth the Metea. If we are fortunate, we might find some hint of whatever drives this research of his. Galeen said she spotted them in the southeast, rising from an island he could see from the edge. Or she could see from the edge. If we stand at the same vantage point, it should not prove too difficult to locate the isle in question. Let's take a look, shall we? Hey, there's stairs now. To upper level, to lower level. Oh, that's interesting. Because this takes you here, but this doesn't have a path. So that's interesting. So all the way over there, you say. Very interesting. But as we pass by this area, there we go. Glamored. No blues yet? Not yet. I'm suspecting that we're close, though. Maybe once we finish this quest, something will happen and a blue will unlock. Though definitely more side quests have. So, that said, this does seem like a good spot to end off at. So, I hope you've enjoyed. If you did, feel free to subscribe You can check the playlist for any episodes you missed. You can also check the description for a link to Patreon and Discord. It does help the channel quite a bit. And I assume that's the island right over there, actually. Oh, I wonder if it's... Because remember, there was one to the southeast. And I went, did I, like, miss one? Wonder if we'll go to Nataforion. I bet you that's what that is. Notaforion, rather. I bet that's Notaforion over there. And we'll go there. And there'll be an ether current over there, I'm betting. So, with that said, I guess I already did the outro, didn't I? Because I forgot to put up the Patreon screen. So, whoopsie. Keep forgetting to do that. I'm used to the Patreon screen being after the outro still. I haven't gotten the hang of this, like, you know, putting that up while I'm doing the outro, so. But this has probably been long enough for it to be up anyway, because it's, you know, basic outro length, so. With that, I'll see you all next time. See you later.